My fellow Sierra Leoneans, every day, every minute, every second, social media is flooded with comments, videos, and all sort of materials about KKY and their movement. Every time I see one of those videos, every time I listen to those comments, every time I read, the relentless articles written about him by the same people, every time I hear him speak, there is one word that comes to mind: arrogant. Arrogance is defined by the American Heritage Dictionary as having or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's own abilities. This guy came from nowhere. KKY came from nowhere. And to start with, he lied about his membership with SLPP. I'm not saying this because I want to support Mother or whoever the hell is running for flag bearership. I'm not a member of either political parties, neither SLPP nor APC. I'm not a member of either. But let's say the truth. The guy lied about his membership. He said he was a member of APC. He was never a member of APC, and he never owned up to it. That is where I sensed that this guy is a good-for-nothing guy. If a man who is aspiring to lead our country lies at the first instance, the first moment he announces his candidacy, he lies about it. He lies about his membership. And those so-called leaders, Somano Kape and others, they connived with him to cover up everything, to cover the truth. The truth that he was never a member of SLPP in the first place. He later on registered officially, but never owned up to it. Never stood up and said, yes, I wasn't a member, but I'm now a member. That's number one. Number two, KKY sees himself as the Messiah. He is not the Messiah, folks. He claims to have been the boss, a UN chief of energy. Yes, he is. We agree. But that doesn't make him a Messiah. He's just an ordinary man like you and I. Yes, he's achieved a lot, and we need to recognize that. But we also need to recognize those who've been there, those who've kept that party, that SLPP party alive, those who've been there all these years. These guys never voted in the history of our country. Never voted. He's never done anything active for the country until recently. So if this guy is coming from nowhere and everybody's hailing him, everybody's just shunning all others who've sacrificed so much for that same political party. This guy claims that his forefathers, his grandparents, his parents fought for the party. What has he done for the party? Chaos. He's brought chaos to SLPP. He's destabilized SLPP. He's turned SLPP into a laughingstock. And I don't blame him. I blame those party leaders. Those party leaders who are so weak-minded. They cannot even think 2 years ahead. They only think within their little boxes. He claims that Mother Bio is destabilizing the party. Mother Bio is the symbol of SL people, folks. Agree with me or disagree with me, the facts are there. Wherever he goes, the SLPP membership follows him. Do you know why they follow him? Because he's got a history. He's got a very long history in our country. He is the symbol of the democracy that we enjoy today. He is the symbol. He is the military commander, the military leader who handed over peacefully. I don't care how you term it, whether he was forced out or whatever. He was the commander, he was the leader at the time. He handed over peacefully. He's the guy that's come back to contest peacefully like everybody else, like KKY himself. But now everybody's denouncing him just because KKY said he's the troublemaker. What are the others doing? If everybody's blaming the single man for all the ills in SLPP, then that means he is the symbol of SLPP. That means he's the face. He represents everything SLPP stands for. Whether you like it or not, that's what he represents. So, the idea that KKY is the savior is just a myth. He threatened to form his own political party if he doesn't have his own way. They went to court relentlessly, and then the verdict comes out, and then the Madabio agrees with the verdict. And then he threatens again to go to court again. And obviously he knows that it's a losing battle for him. So now what has he done? He suspended his campaign. He reminds me of my daughter. He whimps. He's just a baby. He's a crybaby. KKY is a crybaby, an arrogant crybaby who cannot fight for himself, who cannot fight to install changes that he desires in a peaceful way, who cannot fight to install changes that his dreams and aspirations for the party and the country within the set political systems. Instead, he tries to tarnish the characters of those who've worked hard, those who fought while he was in the UN doing whatever he was doing, those who've kept the party image alive. He's trying to bring them down. KKY will burn SLPP to dust if he can be the flag bearer of dust. Mark my words, he is a phony. He has no future in Sierra Leone politics. A man as deceptive as KKY has no future in Sierra Leone politics. It's just a face. This will come to pass. Now, he's from the First Alliance that crippled. It crippled. How long did it last? 14 months? It crippled. And all those who followed him, all those prominent SLPP politicians who followed him, he was actually smart. I have to commend him. He used the image to fuel his own image, his own ambition. Because before that, he was nobody. Nobody knew of him 3 years ago. If you ask in Sierra Leone today, nobody knew of him 3 years ago. But if you ask 10, 15 years ago, people knew about Amada Abiu. So I tell you folks, with all the ills, all USLPP beating your chests, trying to break Mada Abiu and all of these people down, I tell you what, if you want your party to succeed, you better think reasonably. You better think ahead. You better start thinking strategically. KKY will never be the flag bearer of SLPP in the next 10 years. He's not going to be the flag bearer. People have seen his true colors. I've traveled Sierra Leone. I've been to Sierra Leone over the past 2 years. And everywhere I go, I ask people, do you know about KKY? People don't even know about KKY. You go to the village, they don't even know who KKY is. They don't even know what movement it is. But the moment you mention SLPP, people tell you about Mada Abiu. People tell you about JOB. People tell you about Alpha Timbo and others. This guy is not known. He's only known in Freetown, the big cities. Freetown, Bo, Makeni, Cambia. Those are the big cities and provinces that he's known. If you go to the villages, the local men there, they don't know him. So if you were to listen to wisdom, listen to my advice, folks. This guy is not here for the right reasons. KKY is not here for the right reason. With all his educations, with all his exposure, he has shown his true color. That he is a failure. Thank you.